Have you ever had one small comment completely ruin your mood?
Like someone says something very casually, maybe something like, "You look tired," or "Are you sure about that?" You're being a bit sensitive, and suddenly your whole energy changes.
I mean, you can go quiet, you start replaying it, you wonder what they really meant, and you feel embarrassed that it even affected you. And then you're annoyed at yourself because you're thinking, why has this one tiny comment ruined my whole day?
And sometimes you tell yourself, "It shouldn't have affected me that much, surely."
Exactly, and that almost makes it worse, doesn't it?
Because now you're upset about the comment, and then you're judging yourself for being upset about the comment, so you end up in being in a loop.
Yeah, and there's those two things happening at the same time.
Exactly. The comment and then the internal argument within yourself, not about what the comment was about, really.
So welcome back to the One Moment Rule podcast with Rita and Vanita. And today we're talking about why does one small comment ruin our whole mood?
And we wanted to talk about this because it's one of those everyday emotional patterns that people recognise straight away.
It can happen at work, in a family conversation, with a partner or a friend, or even just from someone that you barely know.
And suddenly this small moment starts taking up way more space than we wanted it to.
So Mum, when someone in the past has passed a comment to you and said something, how did that used to make you think and feel?
Oh boy, I'd dwell on it for hours. I would dissect it, analyse it, think nothing but the comment. I just couldn't get it out of my head. I had to find out what's really going on. What did that person mean by it? It would stress me out.
So I guess what you're saying is someone could have said something that maybe wasn't major, but you maybe felt like it was touching something a bit deeper for you on the inside.
Yeah, they probably said it honestly, just in the jest in the moment. But because I had underlining issues playing old record in my mind, it obviously touched something which I hadn't resolved.
Yeah, so I guess it could be, like you said, an old feeling or maybe an insecurity, or do you think maybe even a fear of something that you maybe didn't realise you still had?
Yeah, that's the problem. If we don't recognise our emotions, if we don't recognise our fear, insecurities, then this is exactly what happens.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on your mindset just generally on a day. So for me, I could wake up feeling really positive and great about myself, and someone could say something, probably wouldn't affect me. But I know if I've ever woken up before and just felt really, just feeling a bit about myself, then I think it would affect me even more.
But yeah, your day, how you start your day is how your day is going to kind of end. You start negative, it's for sure going to be negative because you've already put yourself in that frame of thought.
Yeah, but I actually think it's what you said really is actually in the thick of it, which is it's not actually the comment, it's what that comment is attached to.
It's never the comment.
Okay, so maybe let's put it into context. So maybe Mum, tell me about a time where someone has passed a comment to you and, it's made you feel a certain way.
Okay, a comment that was passed to me a while ago. Say, for example, "Oh, you look well." And straight away, "you look well," to me, used to mean I've put on weight. I don't look right. I look big. Because I had my own insecurities. Because when I was younger, when I was a child, I used to get called I was fat. Mm-hmm. So when somebody says you look well, I straight away related them two together. It became a match for me. The feelings all came up in my mind, and it was, she's telling me I'm fat. She's telling me I don't look nice. And that's exactly what happens. But that was my fear, that was my insecurity, that was something I had not dealt with. So the problem isn't what somebody says, it's how I've received it.
Yeah, so I think it's not always, it's not something you're thinking about day to day, right? You don't do that day to day, but it's something that's basically triggered you to go back into the past. And like you said, saying, "Oh, you look well," somebody could have said that with actually a really nice intention that, maybe you just have some sort of glow on your face or something. But actually for you, it brought back some really not nice memories and triggered that old emotional pattern in you, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because before I didn't recognise, now I do recognise.
Yeah.
And now I don't let any of these comments matter.
So I think people will really relate to this. I know I definitely do. I have really good and bad days, but you just said, it doesn't really affect you anymore. So it would be good to know, I guess, how you've over time overcome this feeling of letting things affect you like this.
Yeah, so if somebody now would say to me, "Oh, you look well." My response to that is, "Yeah, I know, I do." Straight away, I don't react. I don't go, "Well, that's not very nice what you said to me. What do you mean by that?" I would get defensive. But now I don't. Now I go, "I'm fine. I know I'm looking great. I know I feel good. I know where I am. I know who I am. I've recognized myself, who I am. I don't need to give people's comments so much airtime and give them my power. It's my power. I take it back."
And that's really good. I think that key word there is power. And to me, it sounds like basically have confidence in yourself and don't allow people to take away your confidence.
Yeah, but confidence can only be built once you recognize you have these hidden thoughts in your mind. Because confidence, you can't click on a finger. You have to build it, but it's only built after you recognize what's playing in your mind without you even knowing.
So understanding where that comes from, saying, okay, I recognize where it comes from. I don't wish to be like that anymore or let it affect me like that anymore, and then do something about it.
Yeah, and then you put it into practice. It's messy, it's hard at the beginning, and every day you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, becomes part of your life, and that's how confidence is built. So Vanita, tell me, in your generation, what comments kind of pinch you?
Oh, I can think of a really good one, like straight away. So before, I used to get asked a question, and I actually still do, about, oh, why are you not married yet? Or when are you getting married? And it would really, really upset me, because I would think, you start thinking about your age and comparing to friends and thinking of, oh, they're in a certain stage of their life. And you think, well, I should be there, or should I be there? And you really go into like a spiral of like overthinking, or must be something wrong with me. But actually, who are we judging our timelines by?
Nobody's. It's your timeline in your journey.
Exactly. And that's only something I've started doing now. Quite recently, I've been doing it. Before, I think I've probably come to you in the past and said, oh, Mum, this, some auntie at some party or wedding just asked me.
What did you say to you? She's got nothing else to do with in her life.
Yeah.
So she's got to pass her time somehow.
But even by you saying that to me, it didn't really help, if I'm being honest. I just still would go back to my room and think, yeah, Mum said that to me, but actually there must be something wrong with me. Maybe there's a reason why I'm not with someone. And now I just think to myself, well, when it's meant to happen for me, it will. And it goes back to what you said about confidence. I wasn't someone that was generally confident about myself. So I'd already have insecurities. And then those insecurities would actually come back to the surface. And I think, oh, that's why I'm not with someone.
But that's why recognizing all these unresolved pain and emotions is so, so important.
And I guess this is the time where you're going to tell me that this is why the 1 moment rule is very important.
I sure am, because the 1 moment is the space between the comment and the meaning you attach to it. Never forget that.
And just for those of you who haven't tuned in before, the 1 moment rule is our emotional framework, and it consists of 3 steps. So pause, choose, and shift. So in this case, the pausing is the moment before you react.
Yes, and the choose is the intent. So they've passed the comment. So you're now going to make a choice. What do you want to get out of that comment? Something positive for you? Or you want to go back into your own ways? You are making a choice at that time. And that is so, so important.
Yeah, and then the shift. So that's then changing your mindset by saying, no, I'm not going to take this negatively. I'm going to respond in a positive way. And that's how you rebuild your emotional patterns over time.
I mean, obviously, it's not easy at the beginning. It's hard using this framework. And it's even more difficult when the person who has passed the comment is a loved one, a relative, your dearest friend. It hurts more because it's like, how can they say this to me? But it does work. It's just practice.
Yeah, and I think it's like you said, if it's somebody who, when you do something, you really need their approval and maybe they don't give it to you, it will really hurt you more. Or someone who's maybe criticised you in the past and then they do it again, you will care about it more. But it could be a stranger in the street and you actually probably wouldn't care at all. Or like you said earlier, give it any airtime.
That's it.
So my quick tip is, if someone says something to me, I pause for a minute and I say, okay, I'm allowed to feel this way. I'm allowed to feel a little bit pinched by it, but I'm not going to give it my energy, and I'm not going to let it take up my whole day. And I let myself sit with that for a second, and then I carry on with my day, and it's done.
Yeah, always recognize the emotion. Never suppress your emotions. That's the worst thing you can do. And what I do is, when a person passes a comment to me, I let it pinch me. But then I say to myself, do they hold value in my life? Are they going to be there for me when I need them? Who are they to me? They're not somebody who's going to be there for me when I need them. And once I've diagnosed that, analysed it, I then move on and carry on with my day.
So the question to take away from this episode is, what did this comment really touch in me?
And maybe also, what did they say and what did I hear?
Because sometimes those are actually two different conversations.
Yes.
So with that, thank you again for listening to the One Moment Rule podcast.
If this episode made you think of someone who overthinks one small comment, please do send it to them.
And also, if this resonated, come and tell us on Instagram. What is the comment that always seems to hit a nerve for you?
One moment shift can change everything.